Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you could be here for our Wednesday WIP Knockout. And these Wednesday WIP Knockouts, the whole idea and intention behind them is to take 3 projects that we have been meaning to work on for a little while and actually chisel away at them. Now, I don't know about you, but for myself, I have a lot of WIPs. I have so many projects that it's actually quite overwhelming. I literally have enough WIPs to fill multiple totes that I keep in my garage so that way they stay out of my living space. I found that I just really struggle to find the time to do them because when I sit down to relax or when I am thinking about the next project that I need to work on, it's always like onward going, onward flowing. And we really, for me anyways, I really do struggle going backwards and going and picking up something that I haven't touched in a while. And that is why things have accumulated. And it's a big problem. So I figured, what might be really, really cool is if I created this time slot where I just took 3 projects and I designated 20 minutes to each project. And all I could do was work on that one project alone and not think about anything else. And yes, 20 minutes doesn't sound like a lot of time. But if you do 20 minutes plus 20 minutes plus 20 minutes over time, you complete your project. It hasn't taken away much time from anything else that you're doing, but you were able to make forward progress in these projects to complete them and then let them on their merry way, whether you are giving them away or if you are just going to enjoy them yourself. Maybe it's a wearable for yourself or it's a blanket for yourself or whatever it is that you started making but didn't complete. Now you can clear it off the shelf. You now have room for new projects, new inspiration, new things to play with. And it's really good to just clean things out. Plus, I recently heard a statistic that our brains, whenever we finish anything, it releases a dopamine, a really excited, happy feeling in our brain. And that is why we end up doing a lot of like monotonous tasks because we finish them quickly and we get that really quick dopamine release in our brain that makes us feel really accomplished and really good. So if we can just chisel away at these projects, we can really increase the amount of dopamine that we are releasing in our own brains and just get that really happy, excited feeling over and over and over again. If you haven't already, take a minute to go find 3 different projects or 3 different somethings that you would like to work on for our session today. Oh, that's totally cool too. If you want to just hang out, I love it. Also, I had somebody week 1. So this is the 3rd week that we're doing this. So it's very new, brand new. So if you haven't heard of this before, there's a reason. It's brand new. But the first week we did it, I had someone come in there. They said they are a 1 project at a time person. And I was like, bravo to you. I struggle with self-control when it comes to projects. I just get so inspired and there's so much beautiful yarn that I want to play with that I have a really hard time working on 1 project at a time, especially when it's a big project like a blanket. I'm like, ah! And also sometimes I lose motivation where I need to have like 3 different projects working at the same time, because if I work too exclusively on just 1 project, I end up feeling my loss of crojo a little bit, where I just start to lose motivation to that project. And then it takes me longer and longer to come back to it. But if I have 3 projects working at the same time, then as I'm noticing I'm starting to lose motivation for 1 project, I just pick up my next project to reignite that excitement and that interest and that thrill of crochet. It's a different project, it's a different yarn, it's a different color, it's a different stitch. So really you're just kind of like jump starting that creative excitement right there. I have my iPad here that has the timer. I'm going to start the timer, and then as the timer's going, we're going to pick up our project and we're going to start working. And of course, after I hit the start, I can keep talking. So ready, set, and go. The timer is on. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. We can do that. you, Mary. So I finally got my shirts in. And so my retreat merch came in. So I got this t-shirt. Oh, I love it. I love how thick it is. I'm like, yes, I'm glad that the quality was there. And then I got a sweatshirt. I know it's going to be the middle of summer. And I know it's like, what are you doing getting a hoodie? But I love hoodies. I'm like, I was always that jeans and hoodie sweatshirt girl in high school. And it just kind of always stuck. But I got the red one because I thought it was pretty. And I thought it would look good on me. So I'm excited about the hoodie that I'm going to be sporting. And then the t-shirt. So yes, I'm very, oh, it's so hard picking colors though. There were so many great color options, but I had to restrain myself. Be like, no, you can't get one of everything. That would totally be me, getting one of everything. But yes. Oh, thank you so much. Ms. Sharani said, I got my Volare pillow. First time, I was skeptical about the cost and return, but I wanted to try, so I purchased it again. It is a game changer. Oh, Sharanya, I am so happy that you think so. I know, like, when it comes to the Volare pillow, I don't want to sound biased because I love it and it has helped me significantly. And I do notice when I don't use it. Now, I don't need my Volare pillow while I'm doing this because I'm at a desk. And so I have my desk right here. But the idea is that just having something to prop you up and to rest your elbows on, so that way it helps keep your back straight. So you're not doing that curve thing that we do all the time. We want to straighten our back and keeping our work higher so we're not cranking our neck, causing the neck pain. And then, of course, resting our arms on something helps to relieve the tension in our shoulders. So it doesn't have to be a Volare pillow. It can be a desk, a table. If you want to, you can use a bunch of other types of pillows that you kind of stash around you to do what you need it to do. The Volare pillow is just easy. It's just so easy. It's portable. You can take it wherever, so you can get comfy, cozy on your couch or on your chair. And I just knew, based off of the design of the product, that it had such potential to help people. And that's why, again, I reached out to them. They didn't reach out to me. I reached out to them and said, we need more crocheters to know about this product, because I hear too many. I hear too many people saying how much pain and aches that they feel while they're crocheting. I've had multiple people reach out to me saying they can't crochet anymore. They've had to stop. And so they're destashing their yarn because they've done too much damage to their body where they just can't crochet anymore. And it breaks my heart because I know what crochet does for people. I know the peace of mind that it brings. I know the psychology behind it. I know that it can bring purpose to people that feel like they just have no purpose in the world, and this connects them to the world and it connects them to people. It distracts them from stress. There's been so many stories that I've heard, but if I can prevent people from feeling those aches and pains while they do something that means so much to them, then I'm going to do it. And that's why I shout out the Volare pillow as much as I can, because I really just want to help prevent these aches and pains that take people out of crochet commission. So Sharanya, I'm so glad that you gave it a second try and that it worked for you. If it doesn't work for anyone, then return it. Yeah. I'm not one of those biased people that's like, no, it's the most amazing thing on earth and you have to buy one because you just have to. No, I have reasons. I have reasons, and I'm not going to be someone forcing a product down your throat. If you can't buy it, if it's not feasible for you, there are other options. Like I said, table, desk, using multiple pillows, anything. That's why I don't argue with people who say that the Volare pillow is just a boppy. It's not. I've done the comparison. I made a comparison video where I bought a boppy because I was curious. I was just generally curious. So many people were like, it's just a boppy. I was like, I wonder. So I bought a boppy. And they are, aside from being similar in shape, they're nothing alike. And so I even tried crocheting and stuff with the boppy, and it didn't help me. It didn't help me. It did not do what the boppy did, or I mean, what the Volare pillow did. The boppy did not do what the Volare pillow did. But if anyone can get aid, if anyone can get relief by using a boppy, then all power to them. I'm not going to tell them don't use a boppy. Like, if that works for them, then awesome. I just care about your health. I just care about your health and making sure that you can keep doing what you love for as long as you want. All right, now that I'm getting off of my soapbox, after watching that video, I got my 100% confident. Good. Thanks for the video. Also, the opening video helps. Yeah, I did the opening video because I noticed a couple other people did opening videos and they were kind of missing steps. And I get it because they were in the middle of doing an opening video. They didn't want to pause, stop, and read the little instruction card that comes with the Volare pillow on what to do once you get it. And they looked kind of confused about, like, this is interesting. I don't know why its shape isn't like instantly doing its thing. How, where's the cover? What's this? What's that? Why does it look like this? Why does it look like that? So I was like, well, let me help you out and just yeah, I know how it's done. So let me just kind of make a little video on what to do when you get it. All right, the first project that I am working on today is my round 2 of the summer t-shirt project that I'm making for my main channel. The project that everyone voted on a couple months ago, where they wanted to do a summer top, summer wearable with sleeves, with a sleeve to cover up some more of the arms. If you did not hear or catch the little Instagram story that I did, oh, so tragic. I got one panel done. One whole panel was finished. I was using Lion brand cotton blend, comfy cotton blend, because I used that same yarn for my Tiffany top a couple of years ago, and I loved it, and I thought it worked really well for a top, especially for summer, because it's cotton and it's breathable. And I was like, perfect, I'm going to use this. So I got one panel done, and I was looking a little light for finishing the project. So I went to order more and found out that it has been discontinued. They don't sell it anymore. And I was like, well, that's not going to work. That's not good. I can't have that. No point in even continuing the project on. I had some amazing people offer solutions. They were like, just go to Amazon, just go to eBay. Now, I did go to Amazon, and Amazon didn't have it. They are the color that I was using. They had a couple colors remaining, some of the leftover colors, but I was using just the plain cream color because, just solid cream. So people could envision how the top would look in some other color. Just using a void color sometimes helps with that. It helps with imagination. But none of the colors were the colors I had already completed a full panel on. Hi, Aspen from District 11. Welcome. So glad you're here. Hi, Cecilia. Hello. So, and I didn't even try eBay because when a yarn gets discontinued, I don't really want to use it to make a project tutorial, because I get a lot of people who want to use the exact materials that I used when I made the project. It just, they see it, that's what they want. They want to make exactly what I made. And people will envision that the only way they can make exactly what I made is to use the exact materials that I used. Now that makes sense. So I don't think it's fair to make a project using yarn that's been discontinued, because then somebody will fall in love with the project that I made and then get frustrated to hear that they can't completely replicate it. So I went ahead and I went online and I did some research. And I was like, okay, I want to use yarn that is as close as possible to the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend, using a size 3 weight yarn, having it be cotton or a plant-based. And I was like, what could I use? And so I did a little bit of digging, wanted to also make sure that it was easily accessible in a big box store. So if somebody wanted to go feel it, touch it before they bought it, I totally understand that they could. And I came across Kobu. Kobu. Now I've used Nubu. Couple of years ago, I bought a whole bunch of Nubu. I don't even think they sell this in the store anymore. You can still buy it online, I believe. I've seen it. I think I've seen it either at Hirschner's or Annie's Attic, but I think they really only sell Nubu online now. I used Nubu a while ago, got some gorgeous colors that now I'm like, needed research to see if they even sell it anymore before I dig into a project with that. Then I have Trubu. So we got Nubu, Trubu, Kobu. And I got this when I purchased a kit from Lion Brand to make a tank top. And I bought the kit because I really wanted to see how the kit was presented, especially when I was about to re-release kits. I was like, okay, what are other people doing with their kits? How are they presenting them? What's included in them? So I bought a kit, and I haven't played with Trubu yet, but I have it. So I at least can feel it and know I can reference it somehow, some way. But I really am enjoying the Kobu a lot. The Kobu is 51% cotton, 49% rayon bamboo, which is cool. I feel the cotton, and it has this really cool drape look. The other ones, this one is lyocell, which is just plant. A lyocell. What's Trubu? Trubu. You are 100% bamboo. Check that out. All right, Trubu is just bamboo. So I got the cotton one, and it feels really breathable. It feels really nice, and I'm excited about how it's working up. I also picked this olive color because I thought it was really pretty, and I haven't made anything with olive before. And right now I'm thinking about practicality. I'm thinking not necessarily, I go off on tangents. I apologize. I'm thinking about what would I want in my closet? What colors do I not have that I really think would be flattering on not just me, but multiple people? And so I really kind of want to go into a direction of, let's make things to put in your closet. I need new clothes. And I was like, sometimes I'm going to start playing with yarn and just start trying to fill up my closet a little bit. Have like a bunch of crocheted things in my closet, which I'm okay with. I'm all right. Grab some camis to put underneath them, and then a bunch of loose fitting crocheted tops, and I am a happy camper. But remember how I had just said I wanted to make a top with the blank white cream color, because when you use that color, it's so easy to insert color here in a way. You see that blank cream off-white color, and for some reason, if you wanted to make it blue, you can kind of picture it blue. If you wanted to make it red, you could kind of picture it red. But when you make a top that is a color, people can sometimes really struggle to picture that same item in any other color. And so that's why I always used that cream color. But I'm starting to feel like I really want to play with color. I'm like, I want to play with color. So I'm trying something different, and I'm hoping it works out. It's also the reason why I've gotten myself in a bunch of trouble with whips, because I understand that sometimes people need inspiration. Sometimes people really, really just need to see it, whatever it is, they need to see it in another color to decide if that is something that they're interested in making or not. And for that reason, I would buy like 4 or 5 different yarn colors for a project, thinking that I would possibly have time to make the same item in 4 or 5 different colors so that people could get inspired by, maybe they didn't like the color that I made for the tutorial, but maybe they really loved it in this other color that I made, and now they're inspired to make it. You know, all those little things to be extra helpful for inspiration. And unfortunately, I would do that. I would buy all of this yarn, and then I would have to quickly like wrap up the one tutorial so that way I could get started and jump on the next tutorial for the next week to have a video. And I didn't leave any room for myself to complete the project. And then I would do it all over again. New project, want to inspire with multiple colors, run out of time, have to put it down, pick up next week's project. And so that is why I have totes full of whips. That you're going to help me. You're going to help me to clean them all up by joining me every Wednesday for WIP Wednesday Knockout, or Wednesday WIP Knockout. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left for our first round. Oh, nice. So anxious pajama days. Emma, thank you, Emma, for saying Emma after that. Emma says Kobu is gorgeous to work with and you love it. I'm definitely vibing with it myself. I totally understand. I've never played with Kobu. This is my first time playing with Kobu, and I completely understand why people have made so many wearables with it. It completely makes sense. I get it. I can't wait to finish this now. I can't wait to wear it because it's going to feel so good. It's going to be so drapey and airy and soft. And it's always a bonus when you can have a color you're excited about and when it has really easy care instructions like machine wash, gentle cycle, tumble dry. So machine wash and machine dryable just on gentle cycles. So easy care instructions. Just My Natural Hair says, Trubu is so soft. You will love it. It is so drapey. It is soft. I'm definitely vibing with it for sure. It reminds me, because my yarn is mostly bamboo. It's 80% bamboo and 20% stretchy Serona. So it reminds me of my yarn, except, oh, they're the same size too. Except for Trubu doesn't have that stretchy Serona that mine does. So, but I'm excited to play with it. I'll make that top with you guys. That's one of the tops that I'm not going to make a tutorial for. So it'll need to be wrapped up here on one of our Wednesdays. Hipster cotton on sale at Premier today, $3.74 per skein. Thank you so much, Gabalot. So if anybody's interested in hipster cotton from Premier, it's on sale. Sweet. Heather, it is totally fine. I'm so glad that you made it. I'm so glad that you're here. We have a lot of time. We've got 10 seconds left on round 1 of our whips. You took a nap? I hear that many people have been sleeping through alarms. And you know what? Sometimes your body just needs it. So listen to your body. All right. So there we go, guys. The alarm is going off. It's soft. Alarm just went off. So if you are wrapping up a row. If you're so close, you have just a couple stitches left, then just finish the row. 5-minute timer, start. This is the transition period. So what we're going to do now is wrap up the project that we were just working on, fold it up, put it away nice and neatly, so that way we're not just making a mess. It's okay. We can be nice to our WIPs. We can fold it up and put it away for next time. I have a few more stitches, and then pull out the next project that you want to work on. Again, if you're just working on the same project this whole time, totally fine. But maybe take 5 minutes, take a break. We have one more session, 20-minute session for our next project. And then we're going to stretch between the second and third session. It's a good practice that we should be doing, but we often don't do, because I don't know about you, but when I get myself into a comfy, cozy crochet position and I'm just doing my thing, I kind of fall into this Zen meditation almost, where I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm just vibing and just picking up a natural rhythm and just kind of going without even thinking about it. And I just go, 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 go. And time flies. And I'm like, what happened to all the time? And I don't take that time, that break that I should, to care for my body. And so during this time, when we're doing this together, we are going to make an effort to do that. I remembered, Mary. We're going to remember. If I forget, holler at me. Okay. The next project that I am working on is one that you've probably seen a picture of, or probably heard me talking about a little bit. I just took some good pictures that I'll be posting on social media here soon. But it's that project with the, I think it's called assigned color pooling. I think it's that. I think it's called assigned color pooling. But this is it so far, where I'm creating a pattern, but now I just need to kind of go. I need to work it up. And so I'm just going to keep chiseling away at this project right here. So this is a brand new concept that I can't wait to do a tutorial for on my channel. They just came out with a yarn dyer. I have her name. I forget her name. I met her in Chicago at the H&H event, Dawn Barker. Dawn Barker is a yarn dyer, and she's also a designer. And she was messing around with her dyes while she was playing with her yarn, and she came up with an idea of having the dye be like having the color change be vastly separated. So lots of one color. So you see like the dominant gray here with a splash of color 2 or color B, which you'd see the orange here. And the idea is, as you're working up the project, you use one stitch for one color. And as soon as the color changes, you switch to the new stitch. And then when the color changes back, you switch back to the first stitch. And so what you'll see here, which you guys are actually getting the first sneak peek of this project, is with the gray, I'm using a seed stitch. And then as soon as it switches to orange, I do a bubble. And so having a lot of fun with it. Apparently there's not a lot of crochet designs out there. There's more knit designs out there. And so I'm excited to develop something new. Right now I've seen the big thing that people do for their color change is baubles. So I'm like, I'm not going to fight the trend for my first project. But after I make my first project, which I'm hoping is a set, I'm hoping it's going to be like a scarf beanie combo set that I'm going to make. But I have an idea in my head of making something kind of grunge, which I think would be really cool, where every time the color changes, I do something not lacy, but I basically will make sort of a hole with the new color to give it kind of that worn out grunge look, which I think could look really cool. I have this idea in my head. I need to play with it, but I wanted to do something that I knew would work first. Okay. 5-minute transition is up. Hopefully you have your next project ready to go. And 20 minutes has begun. Right, let's go and begin our second project. Now, what's cool about us gathering together every Wednesday, the WIP Wednesday Knockout, I didn't want to say crochet project Wednesday Knockout. I wanted this to be open-ended. So if you are working or if you have any project around your house, whether it is beading or those dot puzzles or if you color and that is something that you really enjoy, or if you paint, or if you weave, cross stitch, whatever project that you have that you haven't picked up, it's just been an unfinished piece of work that you just haven't found time for, then choose that as one of the projects that you work on during this 20-minute session. Or it could be cleaning. If you want to or if you're watching this while you're cleaning your house, maybe you're watching the replay, then take the 20-minute sessions that we're doing together and do a chore. And then keep working that one chore until the alarm goes off. And then we'll have the 5-minute transition where maybe you're putting away the stuff for the one chore and picking up the stuff for chore number 2. And then your second session is the next chore that you have to do, whatever you want to do. I think it has so much potential to help us out. And then, of course, there's going to be sections of this live where it's just quiet because we are focusing. I think it's funny when I start to see the timer get closer and closer to finishing, I feel like I start crocheting faster and faster, like it's a race. Okay, I'm reading the chat. Oh, Heather says she's been dealing with a bad toothache, so sleep has not been my friend. So I sleep when I can. I totally get that. I hope you can get some rest. Have you heard of flossing your nerve? Oh, that's cool. We got some people helping each other out. Last week I mentioned that my brother-in-law has a balloon entertainment business. I got a commissioned order to make a balloon dog for one of his balloon artist friends. Cool. Those crocheted balloon dogs are adorable. I have not made one yet, but I've seen them and they are super cute. I bet they would sell well too at a summer event, like a summer festival or summer farmers market, because they're fun and they just make you think of summery memories, summery experiences. That's cool though. Getting commissioned can be such a compliment. I learned that one of the main issues for knitters and crocheters is trapping the ulnar nerve in your pinky. Really? used for fine motor skills, and the median nerve from your thumb. That makes sense. So the pinky and the thumb, I could see that because you're trying to stabilize with those two fingers. So I could definitely see those ones in particular having the most issues. I froze. Okay, let me know if I come back. Okay, you're back. Okay. If you have a moment, I would love to hear what you are working on, what your 3 projects are that you brought with you today. I love to hear what people are working on. I love to hear what projects people are interested in. Um, it just reminds me or gets me in that frame of thinking when I am working on new projects of, well, what are people currently working on? What is something that they love to have on their crochet hook? Oh, good. I don't know. Oh, Mary, you're working on your daisy blanket. I'm so glad. I hope that project is almost wrapped up for you. You've been working on that one for quite some time. And then you also said, oh yeah, just daisy blanket for your friend. Yeah, that'll be cool to wrap up. You have 30 done. Bravo. Yeah, squares. Whew, you need about 30, 40 more. They are deceiving. They're deceptive because you look at a granny square, you see this small little thing, it's the itty bitty little thing. And you're like, oh, I just have to make a bunch of those. No problem. I can whip those up in no time, and not really realizing that you're going to need around 80 to 120. And after a while, you're like, oh my gosh, geez. So easy to think that project is going to work up so fast. I know I've done that a couple different times, underestimating the amount of time it'll take to finish that project. Oh, thank you, Sharanya. I totally get that you're here just for the chat. But I love hearing what kind of projects you do have working. So you said a corner to corner blanket. I still want to make one of those. And a mermaid amid. Oh, mermaid project sounds fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm actually getting kind of inspired by what I'm doing right now for another project that I need to wrap up. I could use this pattern for it. I love when that happens. When you get inspired by one thing you're working on and then you start thinking of other things you can do with it. You're like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Another reason why I have so many WIPs. Where are we at? 10 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Mhm. Oh my goodness. Aspen from District 11 is working on an emotional support octopus for a friend. Now I want to make an emotional octopus. That sounds adorable and so much fun. See? Inspiration. I am inspired already by the things that you guys are working on. Sharanya, you're also working on a amigurumi and a granny square pillow. Oh, I love it. I'm really feeling the granny square right now. I know there's some people that, love or hate kind of relationship with a granny square. I think the most of the hate is the joining of them. But there's so much you can do with it. There's so much you can do with a granny square. I almost feel like having a season. Let me know if you guys vibe with this or not. I feel like having a season where I can only make granny squares. And it can be different types of granny squares because that's the beauty in it too. There's so many different types of granny squares you can make. But I was recently thinking, how fun would it be if all I could make were granny squares, but or make things using granny squares. That's more accurate depiction of where I was going with that. The season would be I could only make things using granny squares. So I would have to come up and get super creative with all of these different projects and how they are constructed by using granny squares. Let me know if you vibe with that or not. I could also just do the granny stitch too, because I think that would fall. I would put that in there. I'd make that fall in the same category, the granny stitch. But I wouldn't want to overkill with it because there's definitely the ability to overdo something. So WIP Wednesday is importante. Yes. And honestly, I hope that it helps you. I really do hope that these WIP Wednesday knockouts, I hope they help you because it's holding me accountable every Wednesday, being here, providing a time slot for you. But in the process of providing the time slot for you to help you, it's also holding me accountable. So I have to do it. And it's fun. It's fun to just have a moment to crochet, to work on projects, to have it be structured. Listen to me talk, share stories, hang out. Shoulders back, Tiffany. I'm leaning on the table. I'm working on a Loki cross stitch at the moment. I love that you didn't cross stitch. Yes, you don't have to crochet. That sounds fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. A Loki cross stitch thing. Yeah. So when you do granny squares, do you complete each one at a time, or do you do each section color for, oh, breaking it down colors you need? So 40 middle. I get what you're saying. Honestly, for me, um, I personally usually just finish one granny square before moving on to the next, though I don't have a whole lot of projects where I am making granny squares for it. So I have a feeling if the granny square was worked up a certain way, that I might assembly line it where, okay, working on all the purple middles right now, so I don't have to worry about grabbing another color. And then working on color 2, and then working on all color 3. Like I could see assembly lining it. I just have not worked enough granny square projects to have done that. But it's a smart idea. Unless you're somebody who does the rotation. There are some people that take the same granny square and they'll rotate the colors. So in that regard, it'd be just doing all the centers, but maybe 4 starting with color 1, 4 starting with color 2, 4 starting with color 3, and 4 starting with color number 4. And then move on to round 2. There's so many different ways you can do it. So many different ways. It's madness. So inspiring, so cool. No whips for just my natural hair. Just finished Jimmy Bean shawl. Oh, love it. It was for 6 months, and then I just finished last night a blanket. Oh, yay! You finished a project, so you got that dopamine release where it's like, yes, so feels so good to just wrap something up and be like, I did it. I'm done, finished. And it's called the Brickwork. That was a kit from Mary Maxim. Cool. Oh, that you won. Nice. And now you're making a head wrap. So cool. I love how diverse your projects are. That's fun. All right. Sounds like a fun season. I really need to do more granny squares. Oh, so you're interested. You like granny squares. Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought that it'd be kind of neat to have like a themed season, different projects. Oh, Mary, so you're doing the assembly line version with your granny squares. Cool. It's neat to hear how people do their thing. 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes. I'm like mad dashing before the timer goes off. Five, four, three, two, one. I'm kind of surprised that I was able to get through that row. Like, cool. Okay. Take a second and put away project number 2. And then before we begin project number 3's 20-minute time slot, let's stretch, because we just crocheted for at least 40 minutes. And we need to make sure, because our bodies have sat in the same stagnant position for this long, we need to move so that way nothing locks up and we don't have anything starting to develop. We just want to do some prevention. So I got this project, putting it off to the side. Okay, so the first thing, let me see. I want to stay in camera view. Okay, and you can see me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is just stand. So if you're sitting somewhere, just stand up, because we just sat, and we need to get the blood to circulate through our legs, and we need to just kind of like maybe take some steps, get the blood kind of flowing through our bodies again. And of course, anything that we do during this stretch time, you don't have to do. You don't. And so listen to your body. If your body's saying, that doesn't feel good, then don't do it. I'm not going to ask you to do something that's beyond your comfort level, especially since I'm not a doctor and I am not prescribing anything for you. I'm just trying to get your body to move around a little bit. So next thing, because again, we sat, let's go ahead and just do some twists. Some just gentle twists. Move our body. Oh, feels good already. Okay, now let's work on our arms. So taking one of your hands, have the palm of your hand facing you. Take your other hand, your thumb going behind your wrist, and your fingers on your palm. So wrist, palm. Bend your elbow. And then make your hand go flat, and then slowly stretch your arm out, keeping your hand resisting going loose. You want it to be tight, so that way we can stretch all of this right here. Feels so good. And we also want to start with it bent and ease into it so we can get that good stretch. If we just start stretched and go, we're missing some of that. Okay, so we hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds, nothing big, and then we release and reverse it. So now we're going to have the palm of our hand, the back of our hand facing us, taking our thumb, the bottom of our wrist, and our fingers at the back of our hand, and make our hand go flat like that. Then starting bent and stretch. And that's going to work all of the tendons and everything on the other side of your forearm. Again, hold just for 5 to 10 seconds. Nothing major. Now let's work the other hand. Okay, so I'm going to start with my hand, the palm of my hand facing me. Thumb on the back of my wrist, fingers on my palm, so it's flat. Elbow bent, slowly straighten. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Turn your hand. Bent and straighten. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We helped our forearms by doing those stretches. Now what I'd like to do is really open up our shoulders. So there's two ways that you can do this. The first way is to clasp your hands behind your back and then just straighten your elbows. And by doing that, you really open up your chest. And that is the reverse motion to what we're used to doing when we craft. And it can feel so good just releasing. It feels so, so good. If this is something that is difficult for you, another alternative way that you could still get a really good stretch in your chest and up in your shoulder area is by finding a wall. Just find a wall and then align your body with the wall. And then turn your body away from the wall, leaving your arm as close to the wall as you can. And what that will do is it'll stretch here and open up here, which feels so good. It feels so, so good. And again, you just have to stay here for about 10 seconds. Nothing crazy. And then the other side, always try to have symmetry. Do both sides. So again, against the wall, and then away from it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. And the last thing that we're going to do is just our neck. So we did our lower back. We did our forearms. We did our shoulders. Now let's do our neck. So go ahead and just take your neck and go forward and back. Go real slow. And forward and back. And forward and back. And forward and back. Great. Now level head and to the side. Let's go side to side. So to your right or my left, or my right, your left. So your left. And then to your right. And then to your left. And then to your right. One more time, each side, to your left. And to your right. Oh, feels so good. Just, again, those little things. Making some little quick stretches every 30, 40 minutes that you're crafting just helps your body so much because, again, it's easy for us to get in a comfortable stance doing our craft and then not moving. And then we just don't move. And when we don't move, it creates the issues that accumulate to aches and pains by your tendons or muscles or just parts of your body staying in a constricted position or being in a position that's causing strain over long periods of time, which will then create those problems for us. Oh, I'm so good you thought so. It always feels good. Just give a little stretch. And it doesn't have to be crazy. That's the thing. We don't have to think, okay, goodness, I have to stop because now I have to do this crazy big stretch where I'm doing all the stuff. Might as well change my clothes into something that is more flexible so that way I can actually achieve some of these things. No, it doesn't have to be. There's a lot of different options too, which we're going to play with every Wednesday. Different stretches that we can do to just throw in there every now and then. And it doesn't have to be every like 30, 40 minutes. Just, it can be just when it feels good, but definitely no longer than 40 minutes between stretches, because you definitely want to make sure your body is not staying in that stagnant pose for longer than 40 minutes, because that's when problems start to happen. All right. Well, I am hoping that more people can make their way from the last live to this one. So sorry about what happened. I didn't have my computer plugged in and it died. and it started to really drain towards the end of session 2 and our stretching, and I just got really distracted with our stretching and I missed it. And then the computer died and I'm like, no. And when I brought it back up, then the camera didn't want to work. And I'm like, guess we're starting a new one. All right, so let's go ahead and get ourselves situated for session number 3. This is the last session of our live for today. And so go ahead and grab your next project. My next project, I'm just going to grab this one that's right over here because, oh, believe me, I have no shortage of whips just lingering about. And this whip right here is a project that I'm working on with one of my one-on-one members of my crochet club. This is a person that really wants to make more wearables, more things that they can just have in their closet, but they're still a beginner. And so they want to make sure as they're working through projects that they have someone to kind of bounce questions off of and give them confidence in the project themselves. I am pretty sure this person could be okay on their own, but if they need somebody there to just make sure that they're doing everything right, then I'm totally open to being that. So that way they can grow and learn and get the confidence they need to excel in their crochet journey. And I think that's beautiful. So once you have your project, I'm going to go ahead and start this 20-minute timer right now and begin. 20 minutes. There we go. All right. It's fascinating to me. I am so excited to jump into the wearable category, crochet category. And I'm noticing that a lot of wearables take about as much time to make as a blanket. It's quite comparable. And so just allowing yourself the time it takes to make it. The other thing, picking up a whip that I run into is forgetting the instructions. They have them over there, but that is definitely something. You have 3 different projects you're working. Generally, you're going to be using 3 different patterns. And then it's a matter of remembering what to do. This one I think is simple enough though, where I can figure it out. You're heading out? All right. I'm going to say goodbye. Tim, I'll be right back. All right. All right, drive safe. Okay. I'm back. All right. And this one's going to fly. What's nice about this pattern is I'm using a giant hook. What are you? An L11 8mm hook with a size 3 weight yarn. Very loose stitches. Works up fairly fast because of that. I'm hopeful. Oh, I'm so glad that you had fun. I'm so glad that you joined us. Thank you for being here. The technical difficulties definitely cut into our time a little bit. So apologies for that. I apologize. But hopefully I can see everybody next Wednesday too. I'm glad this was our third one, our third WIP Wednesday knockout. And I'm looking forward to continuing this on a more regular basis. I think it's going to be very helpful. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you were able to make it over. So sorry about the technical difficulties, my computer dying, and then the camera not wanting to work. I'm glad that you were able to make it over. I know now we're all deeply invested in project number 3. You didn't know about it? Well, it's a baby. It's a baby. So again, this is just the 3rd week. The first day was really experimental. And then the second week was, all right, let's see how this goes. And then this week was the first week I think I really started promoting it a little bit. And then next week, it'll be something I start promoting a lot more. Just, hey, if anybody wants to come join us for our WIP Wednesday knockout, try to chisel away at some of your WIPs. Come join. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully it helps people out. And when I do the replay, which I will post a replay, I'll do kind of like a collage. I'll take the first live that I did and this finishing up version, and I'll put them together. So the replay will have all 3 crochet sessions together. Hi, Rosetta. Oh, I'm so glad that this first time you caught me live. You watched the first one as a replay? Sweet. It will be funny. Yeah, it's always fun to catch people alive. Let me know what you're working on, Rosetta. I'm excited to hear. And then tonight we have a crafters gathering meetup in the crochet club. And we're going to go over the theme, join as you go. So somebody asked about the join as you go method, and I thought that would be a very intriguing topic to go over tonight. So if you have the ability to join over in the Crochet Club tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will begin with that topic. And then after that, we will get into any Q&A that anyone might have, and then show and tell and sharing, which is always fun. I'm so glad. I can't wait to see you. You know what I think? I think next week I'm going to bring the tote. Oh, wait. That was premature. We still have 10 minutes and 30 seconds. That was a different alarm. Yes, next week I think I'm going to bring out the tote. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So like I mentioned, I have so many whips that I have like 2 full totes of whips that I needed to get them out of my space. I needed to get them in like an organized location because it was just becoming craziness. And that is another big reason why I started these Whip Wednesday knockouts, is because I am in a crazy situation with my whips. And I've heard quite a few other people are too. And just knowing that there's a little bit of time designated, just a small little time to try to chisel those things away, just feels good. Feels so good. Like finally, I'm going to hopefully knock these things out, get them done, clear out those totes. And I don't know if you remember, last week I talked about I have a tendency to keep crochet hooks with projects because for some reason I just don't write that down. I could have one of those awesome crochet journals or, a notebook that has a list of my projects and what materials I use, like what crochet hook I'm using on that project, what the yarn is that I'm using on that project, the project information, like what it is and the dimensions I'm aiming for and what the stitch is and all that smart stuff that is a good idea to keep track of, but I don't. And so I end up just keeping the crochet hook with the project. So I'm seriously really curious as I start finishing up these projects to see how many crochet hooks I actually have. Oh, Rosetta, you're working on a blanket for one of your great grandsons for Christmas. I love it. Starting early. Good. I mean, I think big problem a lot of us have is we think we can do we can crochet all these things for Christmas presents, and then we don't give ourselves enough time to do so. So good job starting it now. No worries. See you tonight. Right. 7 minutes. Feels like so much time. My goodness. Oh, oops. The return is different. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left of round 3. Hi, Jen. Welcome. We are in the last 2 minutes, 40 seconds of our third WIP project that we are trying to knock out. So we only have like 2.5 minutes left of round 3. If you're brand new to the idea of what we are doing in this live, the idea of my brand new WIP Wednesday or Wednesday WIP Knockout lives is I provide 3 20-minute sessions where we can work on projects that we have just no time to finish. All the people that seem to be overwhelmed with all the WIPs that they have that they can never seem to get to, that is what this is for. So we pick 3 projects, and for 20 minutes, we only work on one project. And we have 3 20-minute sections. So you can work on each one of your WIPs for 20 minutes. We stretch between session 2 and 3 because we've been sitting for a long time. And then hopefully my goal, the idea is that if we can work on our WIPs every Wednesday, we can slowly chisel them away and finish up these projects that seem to bog us down. So brand new concept, brand new thing that this is only my 3rd week. So this is still a baby, still brand new, seeing how it works out and how people feel about it. And yeah, so this session is almost over, but I'm so glad to have all of you here. Oh, 40 seconds. Like that last minute, I just go into like turbo crochet mode. Okay. Don't forget, if you are brand new over here, just hearing about my WIP Wednesday knockout, Wednesday WIP knockouts, and you are not subscribed over here, you can, that's up to you if you want to be subscribed or not. Just know that being subscribed, you're going to get the notification when I create the live. And so you can have like an extra heads up. Oh, and that's the timer. There we go. So if you are not subscribed over here in my Behind the Scenes with Tiffany channel, then consider subscribing so you can get a heads up. There's a couple things that I'd like to do over here that just don't make sense to do over on my main channel. It's a lot more casual over here, a lot more of exactly what the name is, behind the scenes with me. So whether it is just working on our WIP projects, or if it's a Q&A, or if it's I just have the camera on live. I'm going to do a lot more lives over here. Have the camera going while I work and do my thing and bring you along with me behind the scenes of every video. I can share with you how I edit my videos. I can share with you how I create diagrams. I can share with you just how I do everything that I do in a very casual way, and giving you a glimpse of what happens behind the scenes. It's a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to pick this up a lot more and bring you guys in, giving you guys that exclusive bit. But we're doing baby steps, baby steps. Really starting off with these WIP Wednesday knockouts every Wednesday. This is the third one, so if you didn't know about it, it's brand new. It's a baby. Every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, Texas time, I'll go live and we can bring 3 projects with us and work on those 3 projects together with a little bit of a stretch session in between. Today was a bit crazy. Apologize for that. But I will also put replays. I will take the lives. I will condense them down. I will shrink out bits of unnecessariness, but I will keep the 20-minute time blocks in there. So if you just really want to come back to one of these lives, come back to one of these videos and just have those 20-minute intervals that I have a timer for, and then maybe you can use the video to work on your own projects other times of the day. Or if you missed my live and you're watching the replay, you can choose when you can have that 20, those 3 20-minute sessions that you can chisel away your projects. Or if you want to use it for chores, or if you want to use it for something other that you got to do, and it just helps you by having those time blocks, then I hope this helps. Today was a bit crazy, had some technical difficulties, but I am looking forward to next week. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this progresses, how this grows. And also, I'm really, really looking forward to finishing up some of the projects that I've had for years that I just have not found time to do. And now I'm structuring time just a little bit every week, just a little bit. And actually seeing the light. I see the light that these projects are going to be wrapped up and finally finished. So I hope that it helps you. You're holding me accountable by me having these lives. And I will try to get up those other lives of behind the scene. Let me bring you to work with me. Just to pick that up and give you something else that might help you out, some other learning and just hanging out time. Yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to comment in the comment section below. And if you have any suggestions, I'm all ears. I hope you guys have the best day. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was awesome. I'll see you guys next week. Mark your calendars, set your alarms. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, Wednesday. I will see you back here at Behind the Scenes with Tiffany. Bye, guys.